Coming up today on the Nice Guys on Business.
I think I'm just a walking beacon of all the core values of my life, all the wonderful things God's brought me, the wonderful foundation my family's given me. So that gives me a space to be able to say, hey, Tim, here's another game you can play. Here's another sport you can play. You can decide to be good at it. You can decide to do the work and earn the skills required, or you don't have to. And luckily I have success in one business, so I don't have to do anything, but I choose to play this game, especially in the investment world, and be good at it. And coming from a good heart, coming from a person that cares about his customers and his, customers and his reputation and all that stuff, that all matters.
You see, Danny, there's a force in the universe that makes things happen, and all you have to do is get in touch with it. Stop thinking, let things happen, and be the ball. Or be the nice guys on business. Either one is good. Go from where you are now to where you could be. Get expert tips to grow your business, to be more productive and more efficient, whether you're trying to build influence, grow your community, or make it rain. Best-selling author of Nice Guys Finish First, Doug Sandler, can lead the way. The Nice Guys on Business is produced by TurnKey Podcast Productions. Now, here's your host, Doug Sandler.
All right, welcome back, Nice Guy community. So today is the ultimate entrepreneurial dream. So Tim Guerico, he's a visionary entrepreneur whose journey from Mongolia to America is nothing short of inspiring. Facing bankruptcy at 26, Tim chose to win with a burning hot passion to be successful, turning a struggling Christmas lighting business into a seven-figure model of success. Now he's here to team up and team in the revolutionary industry, revolutionizing. If any of those are words, I don't know, but we're going to figure it out while focusing on raising capital and connecting assets. He's a super connector, and I am, if he was from Canada, he would be a super conductor, I guess. But he's a super connector. Let's dive into Tim's incredible story. Tim, I'm excited to have you here. Welcome to the Nice Guys on Business podcast.
Hey, Doug. Thanks so much for having me, and thanks for the wonderful intro.
Hey, isn't it amazing that I can fuck up as many times as I did in the intro and we still have a show that's lasted 9 years? Is that possible?
That is a very big accomplishment.
That is a testament to my success. I was probably the before guy in most of the before podcasting, and somebody else is going to be the successful after guy. We just keep bumping along here in this podcasting business. I do love it. It is such a great thing. I want to start early on in your career because you're a young guy. And you've accomplished so much in the short time that you have been in the business space. What do you think drives you? What has driven you all this time to go from, potential bankruptcy to a guy that was placed here in the United States from a completely foreign land? I mean, tell me what do you think drives you in that process?
Yeah, overall, it's got to be, and if you don't have it set yet, definitely get it set. And if you need help, I could definitely help you. It's got to be my core values, my 8 values in life. I'm not sure how many I'm about to list out, but they're God, family, accountability, kindness, love, hard work. So those are the things that I live by, and that's kind of like my day-to-day. But most importantly, God and family, because God's brought me onto this earth and gave me so many opportunities that billions probably don't get, and I get to be here in the wonderful US of A.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you sharing many of those values that you have. And one of the founding principles that I've built every business that I have built and share with as many people as will listen is a 3-step process of invest, inspire, and execute. Invest time, energy, and resources in people, in yourself. Inspire people to take action, positive action through kindness or giving or generosity, support, empathy, compassion, all of the right things, the things that you had mentioned. And then execute. And it's not just execute a plan so you can say it's done, but execute excellently, do it to the best of your ability, exceed expectations at every turn. I want to go back to the first one, though, that I talk about a lot, and that is the invest. What are the things that you think that you have invested in, not financial investment, but the other stuff, the hard work, the drive, the desire? What are those things that you invested in that helped you determine what those 8 core values are that you have?
Yeah, so I guess people can see investing as, money, and I guess that's what people typically see investing as, but investing could be just time and energy that you put into it, or even brain work or reading that you do. So the things I invest to, I guess the biggest thing I could always invest and the most valuable is my time. So I'm always going, I love going to church. I love being with my family. There came a point where as I was growing up and being a business professional, like I could see my family every day, but should you? You could see your friends every day. You could play video games every day, but should you? So, uh, I guess I'm going on a tangent, but there came a point where I was like, okay, as long as I'm having a little bit of these things in my life, I feel fulfilled, and life is, I guess, just worth living as you fulfill it, however you fulfill it. So
Talk about for just a quick second your span in professional sports and how the discipline and being a professional athlete was brought to the business world, because there are people that take that leap that go from professional athletics to become business people, and the challenge is that while they do have the discipline, they don't necessarily have the right components to put it together successfully, or maybe they just don't have the right discipline. I'm not really 100% sure. So how did you make it from professional athlete and done that very successfully to being someone that is successful in business as well?
yeah, I guess I'll start with so first I'll start with first. It's like and Doug, I have to. Are you associated with David Sandler and Sandler Selling System and all that stuff?
It's so funny. Dave Sandler was my dad, and
Yeah.
he created Sandler Sales. And it's interesting that you ask. I think that we probably didn't. Maybe we touched upon it in the application process. I can't even remember because a lot of people do ask me. But Dave was my dad, and certainly a great mentor in the world of business for me.
Mm. Yeah, and he's been a great business mentor for me too, and my Sandler coach. I forgot where I was even going.
Just how'd you make the leap from professional sports to professional business person? I guess and
Okay,
successfully,
yeah,
because a lot of
yeah,
people have a challenge with that.
yeah. So I was gonna start off with one thing I learned in Sandler is you are basically made up of whatever beliefs you have in your head. So if you believe that, if you believe that, okay, so if you believe that you have to be a professional soccer player, or you have to be a pro athlete to do business successful, or to have a successful business. Sure, that could be true, but in the world, there's been plenty of people that haven't been athletes or pro athletes or whatever and still been wildly successful. You can believe that, oh, because I have two children, I can't be successful because they're going to take all my time. And then you see right behind that, there's a person with two kids in the same position as you, doing exactly that and more. So it's really whatever you put in your mind, whatever you believe, you conceive. So if you
Mhm.
believe you can be whatever you want to be, you really can be that. So
Okay,
what?
so yeah, so go ahead. No, you go. I'm listening.
Oh,
I
and
was
I
I
was
was
just
just
gonna
gonna keep. Yeah, you keep going.
Yeah, thank you. And I was just gonna say, like, I've learned so many great things being a pro athlete. Some of the biggest takeaways were just I was never the biggest, I was never the fastest or the strongest, but I just loved the game more. So I just kept on doing it, and I always believed that I could go to the next level. And when someone shut a door on me, I believed in myself and just found value in myself to say, hey, like it's okay. This road didn't go well, but try another road. So then how's that correlate to business? In business, not everybody's going to be your customer, not everybody's going to be your partner, and you're going to get rejected, you're going to hear no's, that people are going to tell you different things, but you have to just keep going. And then the core of it all is really hard work. There's so many boring things of business. Like the idea of business is so fun. Then you get into it, then you're like, okay, this isn't fun. And then when you have to train other people and you have other people you have to support that live off you, or that, make a living through what you've created, you have to be a good leader for them too. And you have to help them with supporting documents or things that aren't fun right now, but you just have to get it done for them. So yeah.
When did you know that you were coachable, not only in sports, because you have to be coachable in sports because you have to listen to the people that understand the strategy. You might have the skill set, but if you don't have the strategy portion of it down too, you're not going to become successful as an athlete. Um, but when you made the transition into business from professional sports, um, you had to bring along the same ideology. Hey, I learned from a coach in my sporting career. I probably need to learn from a coach. A lot of athletes don't realize that because they have accomplished so much as an athlete. They're like, shoot, I got this as an athlete. I'm sure I can get this in the easy world of business. When did you realize that getting coaching was something that you needed to rely upon?
Yeah. And that's a really great question. And so I guess I'll start with, so I probably thought coaching was really important, but I really never cared much about education until I stopped being coachable in education until I stopped playing soccer.
Right.
So probably soccer, I was all right. I was probably coachable, and I had to I got to a certain level being coachable. But then what really shifted for me was like after my pro soccer career, where I decided, no, I want to do business now. That's how I want to make money and fulfill my life. I said, okay, I actually have to care about the education that I'm bringing onto myself and the time and the people that I'm learning from. And I never really cared too much about education while soccer was happening.
Right. No, I know that sometimes it's like it's just a given. Hey, if I'm going to be on a sports team, I need to have a coach. The coach is the guy that runs the team. But when you're an entrepreneur, there is no coach that's sitting right there next to you unless you bring that coach along the journey. And then it's money you're paying out of your own pocket, which makes it a double-edged sword as well. It's not only, man, I don't know enough, but I don't know enough to know enough. So I'm not even going to pay somebody to help me until I kind of got my wheels under me. How early on in your professional career as a business person did you hire a coach to help you out?
Yeah. From the get-go, getting a course always is how, and I mean, even YouTube could be a coach, but
Yeah.
getting an actual coach. One of the best coaches I've ever gotten was my Sandler coach, and he changed my life and continues to do so. And I'm in this new world of investments, and I've been putting my, head in the books and doing all the work. I've been having so much fun. And one thing every Friday is my coach's day, and every Friday I think about, man, I wish I was in the class, like so I could continue to fine tune my skills. But I know where God wants me right now. He wants me to continue fine tuning this. But yeah, he's been the best. He's been the best. Sandler and Jim have been the best coaches for me. But I've had so many. And one thing really amazing I just wanted to get into is like it's really amazing when you meet an entrepreneur or when you meet me, and I think about it, it's like throughout my 7 years of maybe 6 or 7 years of real business, I've invested almost $200,000 in education for myself or my workers. And to other people, that's like, I mean, honestly, $200,000 is a really nice car or a really nice home. And I think about that, and I'm like, yeah, I put that into just education and knowledge for myself, hoping that this knowledge that I'm going to get will get, bring us even more money and all this stuff. But really,
Well, a couple things that I know. First of all, what I know is to build a seven-figure business in the short amount of time that you have been in the entrepreneurial space is a huge win, huge accomplishment for those that are in our community. I'm going to talk to my community for a second, that are not investing in your education. When you spend $1,000 on a coach, do you realize that you're not paying your coach? You realize that you're investing in you. You are the recipient of the benefits that coach is going to provide you. Now, if you went and just throw $1,000 into a coach's pocket without doing some due diligence and investigating is this the right coach for me? Because I know there's a lot of people that like to go conference to conference to conference and can say, hey, I've just put 10 grand this year into conferences. I don't know that I've received a lot out of it other than the time I've spent in it. Maybe you're jumping the gun and investing your money a little too quickly. And it is becoming spending rather than investing. Invest in the right coach at the right time, do the due diligence, find the people that are actually right for you. As Tim has done. It just coincidentally happens to be a Sandler coach. So I know it sounds a little self-serving for my family, but at the same time, I keep thinking, man, that's right. So item number one, the 7-figure side hustle, nice guy community. If you want that, you're listening to the guy that has created the 7-figure side hustle. That's number one. Secondly, a little bit more to my benefit, I guess, Tim, than my audience's benefit. Remind me after we disconnect or before we disconnect that I want to take a moment and maybe connect with you after this so that you and I can connect with your coach, because I'd love to have a conversation. I don't know your coach personally, your Sandler coach, but I would love to have a conversation with him because there are so many possibilities for us to do something together with my Sandler name and your wisdom and the accolades that you've showered upon him. He obviously is doing a really, really good job in doing what he's doing. Just what are your thoughts about any of that stuff I just said?
Yeah, no, those are all great. And my little side hustle is we actually put up Christmas decorations for stadiums and shopping centers and stuff. So we really do, and we really can work for 3-4 months. And I've taken the rest of the year off, and it's just really amazing. And now we're going nationwide, so that's even better. So this side hustle.
All right, well, let's talk about that for a second. Again, from professional sports to a guy that is doing overseeing, running, owning, founding a company that is putting up Christmas decorations. How did you make the leap to that specific business? Did you see some white space in the industry, or did you see, hey, here's a company that I really think that I could get behind and help? Talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, so my first business was a digital marketing company. So I started learning all about the digital marketing world. And then while I was doing that, I saw some people hanging up Christmas lights. So I pitched it to some of my high-end investors or high-end clients. And I found out, I discovered this really cool niche that was so much demand during the Christmas season. But then what really made me fall in love with the business was just that I'm a Christian. Our family loves Christmas. My family's so important to me. So every time around Christmas time, I just get happy. And the fact that I have a Christmas light business it just fulfills me in so many ways. And I'm so grateful. Financially, it's profitable, scalable, fills me. Yeah.
All the things, it fills every bucket that you need filled. It is filling. All right, now take me from the side hustle of the Christmas light business to the capital raiser, the guy in venture capital. Talk to me about the funding side of it. Did you make enough money in that so that you said, hey, I have all of this opportunity here that I want to be able to share with other businesses too? Or talk about that for a second.
Yeah. So over the last year and a half, I got myself completely out of the business. So it's ran by the wonderful Christmas team team. So that allowed me to have time to figure out how I wanted to scale, whether it be franchise or licensing. And then I found out about private equity in the financial world. I was like, okay, this looks like something I really want to do. Something that you put a lot of money in and you grow really fast, and then you can exit really big. That sounded kind of like my style. So that's what got me into the investment world.
It seems like, I mean, you're a guy that understands coaching, and it seems like you understand that the world of business as well from your few ventures that you've had that have been highly successful. It seems like you are in a position to be able to be a coach yourself. Have you ever considered that?
Yeah, funny. I mean, earlier last year, I tried and I definitely can be, and I know I can be sometimes to other people, but it did at the moment, it just didn't fulfill. I wrote a whole book and I had a whole course and everything. Then right before the book launched, I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I really don't want to. because we were just doing so well during Christmas time. I didn't want like a full-time job.
Right.
If not a full-time job, but just something that I had to do all the time. So
Well, and and again, the more I think about it, you got to love what you do, of course. And if you weren't loving that coaching space, I'm not sure I love the coaching space myself. I think I like the idea of being a part of a team and running an organization like our production company. I think that I love helping people, but I don't know that I'm there or disciplined enough myself to be able to structure a coaching program. Because for me, that's probably one of the reasons also that I never really leaned into getting into the Sandler business as a coach. I tried it a couple of times after I got out of college, talking and working with some of the franchise owners, and it never was like I never was driven towards it. So very similar to you, I probably just said, you know what, I don't really love this. I want to blaze my own trail. I want to start my own thing and do my own thing. And it has definitely served me well, but I can certainly appreciate that. But I don't want to ignore the fact that super connector is one of those things that you excel at. And I think that's one of the things that you are also passionate about. So talk to me about what is a super connector and how you practice that actually.
hold on, I just had it pop up. Super. Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah. So I think the way I give back to people, I definitely help. I definitely help how whatever. If anybody calls me and needs advice or needs help, I'm always there. I always want to be able to help. But I think one of the big, especially in the investment world, one of the biggest ways that I've found fulfillment in just being able to connect others. That yeah, I guess that's that I found fulfillment in being able to connect others. Now, is it profitable? It can be, but I really am just doing it, especially since I'm new to them. I'm really just doing it because I feel really good being able to connect two really high level people together and they work their magic, whatever. And it helps their business, whatever. But I'm able to be the facilitator of two really amazing people that I know personally, bring them together and they make their magic. And I don't know
Well,
what better service.
I think that there is also the third side of the magic that you may not even be seeing yet, but you will see because you're planting a lot of seeds. That connection always comes back to benefit the connector. And even though I know you're doing it from completely heart-based, heart-positioned love, I also do know because I've seen it through the years of 30 years of being self-employed myself. When you make the connections, those two connections that have gotten together that have been successful, while they may look like they're having more success than the connector themselves, the connector does get a lot of benefit from that. It may not be tomorrow. It may be more of a long tail approach to success. But have you been able to see any of the fruits of your labor from making those connections as of yet?
Yeah, no, I mean, in terms of like monetary wise, not really, but that's okay. Like we said, it's adding up. But really, okay, hold on. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, really, I'm happy to. One of the best feelings is knowing that I have friends. Like I have friends, but will they pick up sometimes if I need them will they pick up? I don't know, but these people, when I help them and I need help, they pick up and they're really
Absolutely.
successful people. And I'm just like, I don't know why they're picking up for me, but that's
Well,
great.
they probably pick up to you because they sense what I love about your approach to business, not only a business but to your sports career also is a couple things. Number one, you're humble to the nth degree. I mean, you're an extremely humble guy to have had the level of success that you've had. You would be considered to be allowed to have some level of ego, but you don't. Your 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 business acumen, the level of accomplishments that you've gotten to, you'd be allowed to have that experience come through, but you have a certain innocence about the way that you present. It makes you it makes you lovable. That's the best way for me to say it. It makes you, somebody could be listening to this episode and say, geez, I don't understand this guy. He's stumbled on some things, as Doug does all the time. I always stumble on everything. You stumble on these things. How has he reached this level of success? And I would say you reach the level of success not in spite of that innocence, but because of that innocence. Would you agree? I mean, do you feel that innocence in you, or do you feel like you know it all? Just shoot
Yeah.
real with my audience for a second, or continue to shoot
Yeah.
real with my audience.
Yeah. No, it's honestly some values that I guess some teachings that I learned from Sandler. And I actually wrote a book called The Honest Salesperson, just
I
because
love it.
one of Sandler's greatest things is just be real with somebody, be honest with them. If you can't help them, say you can't help them. If they don't want to work with you, it's okay. Say, hey, this is the best I can offer you. If we're not a good fit, that's totally okay. You're a beautiful human. I'm a beautiful human. We're going to keep going. We're going to be surrounded by people that we want to be around. If we don't want to be together, that's okay. Life goes on. All that to say, yeah, I think I'm just a walking beacon of all the core values of my
Nice.
life, all the wonderful things God's brought me, the wonderful foundation my family's given me. So that gives me a space to be able to say, hey Tim, like here's another game you can play. Here's another sport you can play. You can decide to be good at it. You can decide to do the work and earn the skills required, or you don't have to. And luckily I have success in one business, so I don't have to do anything, but I choose to play this game, especially in the investment world, and be good at it. And coming from a good heart, coming from a person that cares about his customers and his,
Mm.
I guess customers and his reputation and all that stuff, like that all matters. So
So one of the things I like to do on our show is, show people warts and all. I like to have real conversations with real people. There's not a lot of editing in our podcast episodes, so any stumbles and stops and I forgot to and I'm doing this is generally not edited out, not because we're lazy, but because I think that that's the real way to show a true human being. I don't, life is not edited. We're not all Facebook Live, all the time, and everything is perfect on social media. What's with that being said, what's some of the stuff that you have struggled with through, because everything that we've presented is everything is great. I was a professional athlete, then I made a business, and then that did really well, and I became, a millionaire, and then from the millionaire status, I started a funding business and all of that. What's something that is still a challenge to you, or was your biggest challenge that you've experienced so far in your career?
So I got to start off with I feel like my whole life is just a bunch of Sandler
Good
tools now.
man. I
Well,
will take that as a compliment. So no worries at all. Keep going.
it really is, and it all goes back. Like if I'm ever not knowing of something, I will go back to my Sandler foundations and just say, okay, this is what the I guess Bible says, Life Bible.
The Sandler Bible.
I know, right? Yeah, the Sandler Bible. Remind me of the question one more time. I'm sorry.
Struggles. Tell me a little bit about
Struggles.
tell me what you've been
Yeah.
through.
Okay. So Sandler, there's a concept in Sandler called head trash. And I'm sure you already know what it is, but it's really just the negative self-talk that we have with ourselves. And probably 80% of the day, we're having some kind of crappy talk about ourselves. And 80% of the time, it's probably the same 3 to 5 things that you literally just have not gotten over. So I continue, and I remember specifically 3 years ago, one of the first questions I ever asked my Sandler coach was, okay, you got a nice Porsche, you got a Rolex, you're 80 years old. What's it like to not have head trash? What's it like to not have doubts? Like you have everything you probably ever wanted. What's it like to not have head trash? And he's like, no, I'm 80 years old. I still have head trash. I get told I'm too old. I worry about when my last day could be. I worry about if I can even handle this customer for, all these things. So it's like, that's never going away.
Right.
And I guess I got to say, just when you are in tune with yourself maybe spiritually even as well, when I'm so in tune with God and I feel really fulfilled with where I am in life, that I feel like I'm just doing his work.
Mm.
So I continue to have struggles, and I'm having struggles even today, but you have to say, hey, it's life is just a journey. Whatever path you decide, whatever sport you decide to play, and even if you don't play it forever, it's okay. Like, it's a journey. You have to love the game and the sport and just the process of it all. It makes me feel really good to say, wow, like, I ended this week knowing that I'm 1 week better than I was last week.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what 3 weeks, imagine what 52 weeks is like, where most people, they'll stop at week 5, and that's their end. That's the end of their road. And you decided to keep pushing one more week, and you're that much better.
Great advice. And I appreciate what you said about head trash. I think we all have it. I don't know that you ever get over it. I think that you learn to live with it, and you understand that everybody else has it, and we're just going to continue moving forward. As long as your principles of positivity outweigh your principles in negativity, I think that you win.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So for those that are listening, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially nowadays, like me growing up, I grew up not having social media and loving my life and playing a lot of sports with my cousin and my uncle and my dad. And then I grew up with social media. So I grew up without social media. Then teenage years, I grew up with social media. Now social media is part of our lives, especially nowadays. Even if you're an adult or not, like, don't compare your level 3 to someone's level 20.
Right.
They've taken so many steps and weeks to get there. And remember, if you want to be there, you can easily see their level 20 right now. But if you want to get there, you have to do all the work. That's not going away.
Yeah, my dad would always say to me, never compare your beginning to someone else's middle. And it is so true. It's like we look at where people have accomplished and thrived, and no matter if Tim has been in business for 7 years and you've been in business for 30 years, Nice Guy Community, and you're thinking, why haven't I accomplished what Tim has accomplished in a much shorter period of time, knowing that you know that your time is coming. And if you really believe that, I think the difference is between where you are and maybe where Tim is or has achieved is that not only did he believe stronger maybe than you believe, but he put the action behind it. He hired the right coaches, he put the right people around him, and he made it come to life. Nobody handed Tim anything. He had to accomplish it himself, and or with his team, of course. But you can do that too. You just need to put yourself in the right state of mind and take the right action steps. Read books like Think and Grow Rich. When you read a book like Think and Grow Rich, written decades and decades and decades ago, I'm probably reading it for the 5th or 6th time right now, but in this station in my life, I'm getting something completely different now than I did when I read it, 25 or 30 plus years ago when my dad handed me a copy of it. Also, wouldn't hurt to probably pick up a copy of You Can't Teach a Kid to Ride a Bike at a Seminar, which is written by my dad also. And that's a good one too. Tim, any final thoughts before we wrap up? Any questions I should be asking you? Anything that you want to share with our community before we wrap up today?
Yeah, just Doug's community. Thanks for having me. I'm sure if you have any questions or need any help in life, in whatever aspect, reach out to him, reach out to me. I'm here. I would not be here where I am today without all the people that's helped me be where I am, without David Sandler, without all his teachings, without all his infrastructure, and so many other coaches, and even just friends and pastors, whatever maybe, that's just helped me overcome all my struggles.
Well, Tim, I appreciate you helping in sharing this infomercial about Sandler. It's
I know,
great.
yeah.
I feel like
No,
man,
it's literally the best. It's the best investment I've ever made in my life. So
I don't think, and I appreciate you saying that. I don't think we've ever had this long a conversation, not you and I, but me and any guest that has sat in that guest seat about Sandler. But you were so passionate about it when you first came on. I'm like, all right, let's talk about Sandler. For those of you that are in our community that are interested in finding out how Tim has gotten to where he is, how you can be more in the Tim camp, and maybe even want to get some advice from Tim. We'll make sure we put all of Tim's social media channels in there. Feel free to reach out to him, join his social media community for sure. And I know that Tim was very passionate about anybody wants any advice. I'll be happy to give it to him. I'm a guy that I feel like I can give the advice. So just have your audience reach out. And he said, "Are you sure you want that?" And he said, "Yeah, I want that. I'll take that." So Tim is looking for mentees. If you're looking for a mentor, maybe Tim is the guy. Just reach out to him. So Tim, thank you for sharing your inspiration, your wisdom, and everything that you're doing on the Nice Guys on Business today.
You too, Doug, and thanks for everything you do and the energy you put out to the world. You're doing a great job.
Everybody, never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to our guest, Tim Guerico. All of his information will be right there in the show notes. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
You've put enough in little Johnny's 529. Now, it's time to really help out someone in need. The Nice Guys on Business need your support. Please go to patreon.com, and for as little as $2 a month, you can help these guys continue to ramble on and on and on, week after week after week. Thank you for your support. And boy, is it weak.